Hello my bookish besties, welcome back to our channel. So y'all, the time has come once again where we do our monthly wrap up. So let's get right into it. Y'all know if you're new here, or if y'all know, but if you're new here, you don't know, my name is Danny. I do all bookish things over here. I read mostly thrillers, but I will try to read a fantasy here and there, and I will read some horror, but thrillers are just my thing. So let's get into everything that I read in the month of September. So I read a total of 8 books, and we're gonna get right into them. So the first book that I read was with my book club. If you're new here, I have a book club that's called Licensed to Thrill over on Fable. It is free. We read 1 book a month. Most of the time it is a thriller, but sometimes we will sprinkle in a horror. Like the month of October, shameless plug, we are reading Mary by Nat Cassidy. So if you want to read with us, click the link in the description box. I always have it listed. But for the month of September, my book club picked The Return of Ellie Black by Amiko Jean. I don't have that book, so I'm putting it on the screen. And y'all, this book was so good. This was the first book that I ever read by Amiko Jean, and I will be reading another book. So The Return of Ellie Black was basically about a girl. I want to say she disappeared when she was 19. She was missing for a couple years, and then she just popped up out of nowhere, and everybody wants to know what happened to her, where she was, why she was gone so long, how did you get back? And when I say this book was twisty, did not see the ending coming. The ending was really interesting to me, but I will say I enjoyed the writing style of Amiko Jean, and I will read another book by her. I end up giving this book 4 stars. Like, it was that good. Fun fact, I actually was reading this book while I was on my cruise. So if you are not new to my channel, then you remember when I went on my cruise at the beginning of September. This is the book that I read, and I actually finished it in the airport on the way home. I read it on the beach. I read it a little bit before dinner, but I mostly was reading on the way home because we had a super long layover. But anyway, I gave The Return of Ellie Black 4 stars, and I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to another read by Amiko Jean. The next book that I read in the month of September is a book that I have been talking about over and over again this month. It is 40 Acres by Dwayne Alexander Smith. Y'all, this book was mind-boggling. So basically, it's about a lawyer. His name was Marvin, and he won this like high-profile case. He was doing his thing. He got invited to this very like lucrative, very prestigious group, and he started hanging out with them. They invited him for like a week getaway, and once he got to 40 Acres, because that is the place, that is like the name of the resort or the facility they went to. When he got to 40 Acres, that is when he pretty much figured out that at 40 Acres, the black men or black people are the masters, and everybody who's white are the slaves. This is a heart-pumping, jam-packed thriller. I read this book with Kim. Fun fact again, I actually read 6 books this month with Kim. Y'all know I talk about Kim all the time. We did 6 buddy reads. Is that not crazy? That's crazy. But yeah, that's what this is about. So basically, Martin is trying to decide whether he is going to, you know, stick with his brothers and, you know, be slave masters, or if he has a heart, dignity, and if he's going to try to save the slaves or what. But Dwayne Alexander Smith's writing is so crazy. The things that he thinks of, the plots, all of that was just like mind-boggling. And if you have not picked this up or added it to your TBR, I urge you to do it now, no matter if you're white, black, purple, green. This was such an eye-opener, and shamelessly, some of it I really enjoyed. Like, some of the difficult scenes, I was like, yeah, so pick that up. I gave this 4 stars. I gave this 4 stars. The next book that I read was really a novella. It was by Octavia Grant and Kaylin Hunt. Yeah, Octavia Grant and Kayla Hunt. If you don't know, or if you're new, Octavia Grant, she is unhinged. She pretty much writes novellas, and they're always crazy. This novella was co-written with Kaylin Hunt, and basically it's about a man named Caesar, him and his daughter. Basically they're out for some type, like kind of like revenge. Her mother died, his wife died, so the two of them come together and they bond over doing things that end deadly. If you know Octavia Grant, you already know the book is unhinged. So pick it up. I gave that 4 stars. It was just a quick little read to, like, you know, I love to read her books when I need something in the middle of like another like novel. I read one of hers to, like, you know, just keep me going. All right, the next 3 books I read were by Eric LaSalle. They were the Marty Maker series. I do have book 1 and book 3. I ordered book 2 off Amazon, but it's on back order or whatever. So here are these 2 books. When that book comes in, I'll have it. But yeah, Kim and I read these books like a marathon. We read them back to back to back, which was crazy. Her and I read series together all the time, but to read them back to back to back is crazy talk. But basically these books are about a detective named Quincy and another detective named Freeman. They call him Fee. And they also link up with an FBI agent named Macklin. So basically these books are about the 2 detectives and the FBI agent. They get together and they are trying to solve murders. All these murders are pretty much serial killers that are after like clergymen, people of high importance or whatever. And I talked about Eric LaSalle in like a past video, and if you have not ever read a book by him, or if you're intrigued, if you're looking for a new series to get into that involves like serial killers and things like that, pick this up. When I say I am dumbfounded that I hadn't discovered this series sooner, it is such a good series. It says a gritty crime thriller, spiritual quest, and love story all woven into one compelling tale. LaSalle conquers yet another medium. A really great read. All of that is true. His writing is impeccable. The things that he comes up with, like I had stated in a previous video, he was on shows. He's produced and written for a lot of shows that we know now. So get caught up on my videos and definitely check out this series. It was so good. Like I said, Kim and I marathoned them. We read them one after the other. We read the whole series in like a week or so. So that should tell you that these are so good. It was a 5-star series so far. Hopefully there are more books coming. It ended kind of on a cliffhanger, which I didn't mind, because that just means I get to read more books by Eric LaSalle. But absolutely heart-pumping, thrilling, gory, anything you can think of, he put in these books, and we ate them right on up. So pick these up. 5 stars series so far. The next book I read was The Unkind Hours. I also read this with Kim, and it is by Dwayne Alexander Smith, the same author who wrote 40 Acres, and it was so good, y'all. This book is about a man who his daughter is kidnapped, and he is propositioned by the stranger, and he is given this opportunity to do something that he really wants to do. He wouldn't be able to do without the stranger, so he takes the stranger up on his offer to try to, like, you know, get revenge on the person who kidnapped his daughter, and the things that the stranger makes him do is crazy. This book was a mind. The characters not only got on my nerves, but they just really encompass like a good thriller. And also, and I'm sorry to backtrack, but I will say these characters in these books, the Eric LaSalle books, sorry I had to backtrack, I freaking love these characters. I grew to love these characters. I cried for these characters. I laughed, I smiled, I got teary-eyed. I'm so emotional behind the characters in the Marty Maker series. So yeah, just know you will get attached to these characters because they are so good. They embody a true thriller, these characters. Okay, I say that all to say the characters in The Unkind Hours also had me feeling some type of way. But I will say, Dwayne Alexander Smith, he has a way of writing heart pumping. So many times Kim and I was texting each other like, oh my God, but then nothing happened. So he has a good way of like getting your blood pressure going, getting your heart beating, and then kind of like fizzing out and then hitting you with like a twist. So yeah, The Unkind Hours by Dwayne Alexander Smith, I end up giving that 4 stars as well. I had an impeccable reading month. I gave that 4 stars. It was so good. Definitely add that to your TBR because it is so freaking good. 4 stars. And then the last book is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rucola. I'm going to go ahead and add this now because I'm literally about to finish it. We're 65-70% done. So I want to go ahead and add it. I can already tell this is going to be a 4 to 5 star read. This book is about a woman named Mallory Quinn. She was an addict for such a long time, addicted to oxycodone and all these other type of drugs. She ended up cleaning herself up. She's 18 months sober, so her sponsor, Russell, ends up finding her a job to be a babysitter for the Maxwells. She's babysitting this little boy named Teddy, and all is well. Then Teddy starts giving her drawings, and at first the drawings are like cutesy stick figures, and then they become elaborate drawings. When I say elaborate, they end up becoming elaborate. So after trying to find one. So after the drawings become super elaborate, like super elaborate, Teddy's 5. After the drawings start coming super elaborate and things start getting weird, Mallory is trying to decide what's going on with Teddy. Who is this? Who's drawing these pictures and what's going on? She's really trying to figure out how she can help Teddy because she know he couldn't possibly be drawing these pictures, and then a lot of freaky stuff start happening. So Kim and I are also reading this. This is the last book that we're going to read together for the month of October. If I do end up reading another book, I will mention it next month in an honorable mention. But that is everything that we read this month that I read, and I totally enjoyed it. Like I said, Hidden Pictures, I'm pretty sure it's going to be 4 stars. I feel it in my bones. If y'all have read any of these books, comment down below if you like them. Comment books that I showed you that you're gonna pick up. I know a lot of people have read Hidden Pictures, and I'm probably late to the party, but I'm eating it up. It is so good. The pictures are just so good. Like, one-of-a-kind thriller. I loved it. Stephen King. So if he said that, then you already know it is really good. So yeah, Mallory must decipher the images and save Teddy before it's too late. An immersive horror story. So with that being said, those are the 8 books that I read in the month of October. If I read more, I will mention them next month. Let me know how many books y'all read down below. If you made it all the way to the end, drop a little book stack, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye, guys.